of the Year contest. It celebrates extraordinary and inspiring fans, a lot of them who watch our show and who we love and thank for choosing us. Now, today is day 3 of the NFL Draft, and the inaugural 32 Club Fan of the Year winners will help announce their team's picks. It's all very exciting. And if you think your fandom goes beyond the game, we want you to apply right now. Do it this weekend. What else you got going on? Come on. You can become your team's 2021 Fan of the Year. It's a big deal, so go to NFL.com/Fan of the Year for your chance to win. You could attend Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles, which would be incredible. We don't know who's playing in that Super Bowl. All 32 teams have gotten better over the past 2 days, welcoming in Tom Pelissero this morning with some news. And there's a lot of hope. That's why the draft is the best time of the year, because it's hope and optimism for all of the squads. We've had a record number of quarterbacks taken, Tom, 8 in the first 3 rounds, in fact. So what's the rundown on QB's day 2?
Okay, as expected, we got a run on quarterbacks on day 2, and it went really quickly with all 3 of them taken in a 4-pick span. It started with Florida's Kyle Trask going to the Buccaneers at number 64 overall. This was the logical fit all around. Highly productive passer for the Gators. The knock on Trask was just not that mobile. He's strictly a pocket passer. So who better to learn from than Tom Brady and offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich? 2 picks later, at number 66, the Vikings took Texas A&M's Kellen Mond. They did a ton of work on him during the pre-draft process. He was always going to be their target. Productive, broke school records. He's tall, big arm, smart, athletic, just kind of stiff and robotic. So an intriguing project for Minnesota to take on at a time that Kirk Cousins still has 2 years and $56 million fully guaranteed left on his contract. 1 pick later at number 67, the Texans took Stanford's Davis Mills, guy who only started 11 college games because of injuries, but he really helped himself at his pro day and in interviews. General manager Nick Caserio said last night this was just a pick in the normal process of team building. But remember, this was Houston's first pick. They didn't have a first or a second rounder. Certainly seems to be, at least in part, a reflection of Deshaun Watson's uncertain status going forward. Texans have now acquired 3 quarterbacks in this offseason. Tyrod Taylor as a free agent, Ryan Finley in a trade, and now Davis Mills. Okay?
Appreciate the rundown from you, Tom Pelissero. Hopefully you're getting some sleep, getting excited for the rest of the rounds, taking a nap at some point this weekend. We've got you covered. He's like, no, absolutely not. Tom P., we appreciate you. So you named some quarterbacks. Very interesting with the Davis Mills pick. He's, of course, out of Stanford, goes to the Texans. Which quarterback pick from night 2 makes the most sense to you, Nate?
I like the Kyle Trask selection. You know, we did it on the show, and I broke down kind of what he does, and he has the ability to make certain throws that young guys coming out of college don't typically make. There was some conversation that, you know, he could have been a first-day guy, but we were so loaded at the quarterback position that we already kind of marked the 5 quarterbacks that were going to go first. But when you look at what he did in college, it's funny. We can credit the pass catchers, and we'll compliment Kyle Pitts, and we'll compliment Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
And then we just forget about the guy throwing them the rock.
He has that kind of thing that some of the Alabama guys have where, well, look, you got all these All-Americans around you. Anybody could drive that car. He gets some of that.
That might be the reason why Mac Jones slid a little bit, because there are so many playmakers around him. But I do like it. I like the situation that he's in. Being able to learn from a quarterback that is an absolute legend and learn from a coaching staff. And Byron Leftwich also, who's willing to pour into the young guys.
Will Trask see the field, his rookie contract? Just asking.
Rookie contract?
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys think?
No,
Brady's
that's the response.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like Brady never gets hurt and Brady never stops playing. And 4 years from now, is he still sitting there as a member of the Bucs while Brady is the quarterback?
Does
I don't
he
know.
outlast Trask?
Yeah, maybe.
And listen, at least he'll be healthy. He'll be a lot smarter.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't see the field, and on top of that, he'll be ready to play when he does touch the field.
That's right.
Yeah, to me, the pick that made the most sense really was Davis Mills, only because of the amount of uncertainty that is there right now. Because the Houston Texans, you know, we know the Deshaun Watson situation. Well, we know what we know about it, which isn't a whole lot, but we know that there's an issue. Tyrod Taylor, he'll be the quarterback this year is what I'm guessing. But to me, knowing Nick as well as I know and the amount of time, he checks the boxes that are important to Nick and where he comes from. That program, playing for David Shaw. So to me, Davis Mills was the pick that makes the most sense right now. Now, the point that you were making, I don't disagree with any of these quarterback decisions in the second round, but to me, there's going to be so much that has to be paid attention to in this Texans situation. I think Tyrod Taylor ended up starting the season, but Davis Mills is going to come on quickly, I think.
When they were on the clock, did you have any doubt they were going to take Davis Mills? Was that the pick in your head?
It wasn't the pick in my head because
Oh.
I didn't know where they were going. Simply came from the standpoint that they have so many needs right now, and there's so many things that they have to fix culturally. They could have gone in so many directions. So knowing Nick and thinking how he might be thinking is that he would have to get a player that's going to help their culture,
Got it.
that's going to get things straightened out. Would he have gone for a position that's maybe less, less prominent, for lack of a better word?
Right.
But to do something where he's going to start fixing the culture. And that's where I was more focused. So I was a little bit surprised.
You don't get a more interesting third-round pick than that. I mean, that was unbelievable. And I have to give credit to specifically Rich and DJ on the broadcast last night, who were unbelievable. Rich asked, I think, 6 times, what is up with this pick? And then I want to echo what DJ said. DJ sat and looked at the camera and said, there's no one I've talked to in the league that has any expectation that Deshaun Watson's going to be on the Texans this fall.
Wow.
It's not going to happen. So let's think about this, that even if you were to take the massive legal situation and reconcile it somehow, there's still the whole thing where he says, I'm not playing for them again, even before the legal situation.
Right,
So
exactly.
the Texans, to a man, each and every one of the individuals for months now has maintained, Deshaun, we're committed to Deshaun. No, they're not. No, they're not. This was a tell.
Right.
The GM and the coach have been on every show and every interview saying we expect a future. Not anymore.
Right.
They have so many needs, and their first pick of the whole draft was a quarterback,
Kyle,
a project quarterback. Scott,
you nailed it, because everyone forgets, because of this circumstance right now with Deshaun Watson, no one is talking about what was an issue before. This was the hottest topic in the National Football League.
Yeah.
He was going to hold out. He wasn't going to show up. He was going
Exactly.
to force their hand. He was going to take this new head coach, this new general manager, and he was going to force it on him. I was trying to think back to a time when we had a situation where a player was holding out and it became that contentious.
Did you have one?
It was Terry Glenn. It was the 2001
receiver.
season. But again, that wasn't our starting quarterback. We had this whole other team, the rest of the team that was all in. This is your team leader. This is the face of your franchise. So before this circumstance that's come up now, it was completely different. This was starting months ago. So you're right. DJ and Rich, they were phenomenal last night.
Did a good job. Yeah.
They crushed it. But that bigger problem, there's no one in the league that really believes that if he is a Texan, he's probably going to be in the reserve category. That's my best guess.
Wow.
That's my
More
best
on this,
guess.
of course, for weeks to come at GMFB. We'll be breaking down the second and third round. Scott, if I took a shot of vodka every time I